Alright guys, welcome back to 5-9 Gaming. It is your boy ZVG here, and today we are going to be taking a look at your guys' fan-made kits for LF Rose Goku Black. Now, I'm going to be taking the first submission from Mr. Elias B. Alright, Mr. Elias B, thank you for your submission. So, what is their color? Okay, red. I mean, that's pretty standard. I've skimmed over a couple of these responses, and a lot of people seem to want to have Goku Rose, Goku Black. Oh my god, what? A lot of people want to have Rose to be red, which I agree with. I mean, God King needs a red, and Future could use a new red as well, so I have no problems with him being red after a great start already. What is your type? Melee. Now, this is kind of interesting here. Now, for the God Key and Future tags, I would say that they're primarily blast-based teams, you know, because Future has, you know, the Zenkai 7 Blue Chunks, the Red Cell, Goku Black, all that good stuff, and the only melee units are really Vegito Blue and the LF Gohan. So him being melee would be a very interesting setup right there, but it could still work. I mean, Future can use either Strike or Blast. The units are just that good, so either way I'm fine with it. And for God Key, Vados, you know, Zenkai 7 Blue Goku, UI Goku as well, I'm probably good. And also, and for God Key, we have Vados, who's kind of blast based, Zenkai 7 Blue Goku as well, UI Goku, but we also have strike based units like Gogeta Blue, Vegeta Blue, Zenkai 7 got Vegeta, so it's a great mix, it's a fine mix. I'm totally okay with him being a melee type. So yeah, now his tags are going to be Future, God Key, Powerful Opponent, Saiyan. I think he kind of forgot that Super Saiyan Rose is actually a tag in the game, so he probably should have put this right here, but I don't blame anybody for forgetting that Super Saiyan Rose is actually a tag in the game. Now, what are his stats? Fully soul boosted at 6 stars, so 232, 244, 2.32 million, 140k strike defense, 143k blast defense. Now, I feel like the defense is kind of way too low, so let me go on Legends DBZ.space to check LF Kid Buu. Because honestly, I want him to have like around the same stat spread as Kid Buu, so let's see what are Kid Buu's stats right here. So Kid Buu has at 6 stars, he has, this is what, a 5,000. Okay, so at 6 stars he has similar around, okay, alright, I'll take it. Around 6 stars he has similar stats to Kid Buu, so 140k, 143k, Kid Buu has 141, 141. Okay, alright, that's fair. Now his strike and blast attack are looking crazy, because Kid Buu has 208,000 strike attack but 223,000 blast attack, so Rose is gonna eclipse him with this kit that this guy made right here. So honestly, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. We need LFs to be at the same level as Kid Buu or better than Kid Buu at this point in the game moving forward. So I'm totally fine with him having more stats than Kid Buu. HP though, yeah, he's got more HP. Yeah, I'm totally okay with this. And yeah, off to a great start so far with this kit. Now his ability at 6 stars is going to be 30% to base strike attack and defense for tag Future, God Key, and Powerful Opponent. This is pretty much the Z ability that we're all expecting. I mean, not in terms of the base strike attack and strike defense, but in terms of the tags that he's gonna buff with his Z ability. So Future, God Key, and Powerful Opponent. Now I honestly think that Powerful Opponent is gonna be the first tag that he buffs, because they're really trying to push that team out. So I feel like Powerful Opponent is gonna be the first tag that's gonna get his Z ability. And then at 6 stars, you probably get God Key or Future or something along those lines. But I feel like Powerful Opponent is gonna be where his 2 and 3 star Z ability or something along those lines. But off to a great start already. Nice Z ability right here. Now, what 2 cards do they hold? They hold a strike and a special kill. Now, this is actually intriguing, honestly. Like, I didn't expect someone to put this as, you know, the cards that he holds. But honestly, looking at it, it's probably a good thing, right? Because no one on the Future or God can really hold, you know, a special move card or a special skill card, right? So him being an LF that holds that would be pretty interesting, just like how LF Frieza holds the special move arts card. So yeah, I'm totally fine with this. A little bit unique, so also that's a part of it. So very nice fan made kit so far, Mr. Elias B. I can see that you really put a lot of effort into this. Alright, so what do the arts cards do? Okay, strike does pierce damage which inflicts bleed. Okay, alright, that's fair. I mean, it's Goku Rose Black with the you know, with the blade, right? So yeah, blast does nothing. Okay, green card, Violent Fierce God Slasher. Now that name is pretty funny but it makes sense. Alright, so plus 15% damage to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts upon activation, restores all Vanish Gauge by 50% upon activation, and inflicts 4 switching on hit, important for unique ability too. Now, it's obvious that he kind of got inspiration from Kid Buu, because if you take a look at Kid Buu's special skill card, He uses his own advantage gauge by 60% and that activates 4 times. But this green card right here, he doesn't have any limit on the, you know, the restore advantage gauge. So can you just spam that? I think that would be kind of too broken, honestly. Like just being able to spam that constantly, and it kind of goes into hand with his special skill that he holds right here, right? So, oh man, this is looking pretty broken right now. Did he put in the ultimate arts card thing in here? Did he have that? I don't think he said what the special move or the ultimate arts card does, but okay, all right, this is still fine. All right, what is your main ability? You will die today. Draws the ultimate arts card, funeral song of Aya. Holy shit.
Oh no.
These names that he came up with are kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. And restores own health by 30% and ki by 50. Nullifies own unfavorable element factors for 40 timer counts and cancels own attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. Now this main ability right here is already a top tier main ability. I mean, just the fact that he nullifies own element factors for 40 timer counts, I feel like 40 is like a bit of a stretch, you know what I'm saying? Because even Gohan, let's just look at Gohan real quick. I don't think even Gohan doesn't do it for 40 timer counts. I think Gohan does it for 20. I think I'm pretty sure it's 20, but let's double check here. Let's go to Gohan, best unit in the game, baby. All right, let's see here. Yeah, it's 20 timer counts. So this man right here is gonna be doing it for 40 timer counts. I feel like, nah, that's too broken, man. That is too broken, bro. Elias, come on, man. You gotta at least be a little conservative, you know what I'm saying? And let's see, cancels own attribute downgrades and conditions. Very nice. Get rid of all the bleed and everything that's going on right now. So yeah, I feel like it's pretty good. It restores own health by 30% too, and should keep it at 50. Pretty nice mana beater. They're pretty broken mana beater just for this right here, man. Like this alone is crazy. Alright, so what is the first unique? The strength of a god and a Saiyan. Plus 25% damage inflicted against Saiyan and hybrid Saiyan cannot be cancelled. I mean, this is pretty standard. I mean, we've seen Goku Blacks in the game that do damage against hybrids and Saiyans. Well, hybrids mostly, but having it against Saiyans too makes sense since this Rose did go up against Vegeta. So yeah, damage to Saiyans and hybrids made this like an automatic staple on the future team and Gaki team, man, because Saiyans and hybrids are really running the meta right now, along with androids and regen, of course. But Saiyans and hybrids are pretty relevant, man, especially with Gohan out right now. So yeah, I feel like this alone right here is pretty stupid. Cannot be cancelled too. Pretty nice. Applies the funny effects itself when battle starts. Plus 60% of damage inflicted cannot be cancelled, man. That is pretty insane, dude. Honestly, I think Kibu gets 90 or something. I'm not. Hold on. Let's see what Kibu gets. I think Kibu gets 90. Yeah, he gets 90 just for existing, man. So even though Rose is getting 60%, I mean, he's also getting 25% from, you know, if it's against Saiyan and hybrid Saiyan. But 60%, I don't know about that, man. Honestly, I feel like against androids and regen, he wouldn't be all that too great. Just because 60% damage is basically what the yellow bully gets, and yellow bully is trash, man. But reduced damage received by 20%, that's standard. Plus 50% of key recovery cannot be cancelled. -5 to strike and blast arts cards cannot be cancelled. Now I have not seen anything about card draw speed yet, which I would assume that he gets it, you know, in his second unique. But I feel like he's missing card draw speed here from this unique, even though it's kind of long. I feel like just adding card draw speed for like 10 timer counts would be pretty nice. Because he's already getting -5 to strike and blast arts cards, and also getting plus 50% to key recovery. So his combos are gonna go on for quite a while. I mean, if card draw speed added to this, man, woo, that'd be pretty insane. So he knocks back enemies to long range if a cover change is performed against their Art Strike Arts card, like PR Bojack, and reduces the health of the switch out ally by 10%. This cannot be the cause of the ally to be defeated, okay? LFO stabs his sword through your battle member just like he did to Zamasu when he and Zamasu provoked Goku. Now this, honestly, I feel like this is staying true to the series right here. I feel like Elias B kind of, you know, he's going hard right now in this skill right now. I'm not gonna lie, Elias, you're going hard in this skill right now. So basically, if you guys didn't watch anime, I mean, if you didn't, then what are you doing here? But Rose basically stabs Zamasu to stab Goku, right? So this does make sense. It does make a lot of sense. So I'm all down for this. Now combo arts card. Now this right here, man, I don't know about this right here. But combo arts card, special move, strike, blast, special skill, tap, blast, and tackles. Like, I don't know about this, man. Probably just a special move and the special skill. Now that would be pretty okay. But the strike, blast, and everything else, man, I don't know about that, bro. Like, even he put the tackle in there. Yo, he put in tackle in here, man. Oh my god, Elias, what's going on, man? Like, You have good,
Oh, no.
and then you just have broken.
Oh, no.
Man, like you just have a mix of good,
Oh, no.
broken.
Oh, no.
Here. All right, so what is the second unique? Now the second unique is pretty short. Mark of Almighty Power. While this character is on the battlefield, applies the funny effects itself when enemy switches characters. Plus 30. Okay, so here's how he gets his card draw speed now. Woohoo! Oh my, ayo. This right here, I feel like nah, fam. 35%. And guys, don't forget that he holds a special skill card. So he's gonna be popping this shit off like crazy, man. Like, I'm so glad that he didn't put blast armor here. I'm so glad that he didn't put blast armor here. So you missed I don't know, Elias. You should have put blast armor here right now. That would have been pretty crazy. But it plus 35% damage inflicted for 10 timer counts. Now this is where he gets up his lost damage now, because honestly 60% is not that good nowadays. But he's gonna get 95% if he can just switch out an enemy with his character. Now in this situation, if you're going up against a yellow unit and you bring this guy in, they're obviously gonna have to switch, right? So you're gonna get this off if you can, you know, get the element factor off, right? I mean the advantage, right? But yeah, man, increases orange card draw speed by 1 level for 10 timer counts. Now this is kind of similar to Broly, where Broly gets, you know, Vanish Gauge and card. I think he gets card. Yeah, he does take card draw speed when they switch out. So it's kind of reminiscent of that. So basically, this guy basically slapped on Kid Boo's kit with Broly's kit a bit here. Nice. Restores ki by 30. Alright, pretty nice as well. And what made you decide to make the character the way you made it? Haha, Rose goes, bruh. I can tell, like, you have a lot of good stuff right here, but I feel like you should have mentioned the Ultimate Arts card, because Ultimate Arts card, you could have had a lot of crazy shit.
Oh, no.
That, but honestly, like this right here, okay, so the most broken things about this gear right here, this is way too broken, and this right here is being able to combo up anything is a little bit too much. And this down here, man, oh my goodness, the fact that he holds a special skill and he holds a special skill card. I mean, the fact that he holds a special skill card and has this right here for a second unique is pretty crazy. But yeah, man, what role do you see the character in? What role do you see the character in their teams, and how do they fit the current and potential future meta you see? Yes. So overall, fantastic kit, man. Honestly, like, I wouldn't be mad if Rose exactly just fine tweak some of these things to make him not that broken. You know, but overall, a very fantastic kit, and I feel like LS should be along this skill power. So Elias, I'll give you a kit at 9 out of 10, but you're getting points off just because you missed the Ultimate Arts card, and the fact you have a little bit too much broken stuff in here, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, overall, a great submission, and I will pass it on over to the next content creator who's gonna do their review of another fan-made kit. I'm out, guys. Peace.
Hey, what is going on, 5-9 Gaming? It's your boy Swift, and today I'm going to be picking one of the submissions that you guys sent to us for the upcoming LF Rose. So for those that don't know, I love God Key. It's probably my favorite team in the game. So me personally, I'm super excited for this guy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the fan-made kit. First things first, thank you to Say No to RR for your submission. We at 5-9 Gaming, we always appreciate these submissions, especially me personally. I enjoy reading through these, specifically for this unit for sure, but you know, just in general, I always enjoy reading these. So thanks for your submission, and let's get started. So he wants LF Rose to be red. I agree with this 150%. You know, especially for God Key, they really need a red unit very badly. God Key is a very good team, but you know, not having a viable red unit really hurts them in the long run against teams like Regen that has DKP and Piccolo. You know, against Regen and Android teams that have Android 18. You know, you got all these yellow powerhouse units running around in the meta right now, and God Key really doesn't have a viable red unit. So I agree with that 150%. He wants it to be a melee unit. Okay, that makes sense. I actually prefer melee over blast units most of the time. Obviously, there's exceptions, but I would rather have a handful of strike cards than a handful of blast cards. So I agree with that. Now this is just going to be the tags. The Z ability is actually down here. So for the tags, he's got Powerful Opponent, Future, God Key, Super Saiyan Rose, and Saiyan. Okay, that makes sense. We'll move on to the stats. Remember, these are the fully soul boosted stats at 6 stars. So 2.2 million health, 200,000 strike attack, 145,000 strike defense, 215,000 blast attack, and 146,000 strike or blast defense, excuse me. Now, you take a look at these stats, and yeah, they're kind of on the low end for a 6-star LF. But you got to look at the entire kit in general when you look at these units. So, you take a look at Vegito Blue. He's got, on average, lower stats than another unit at the same star level. So, but you can't judge it by the stats. You got to look at the entire kit. So, in my opinion, I think these are a little on the low side. But for all I know, if the kit ends up making it being a very good unit, then that's all that matters. So, you can't judge a unit by the stats alone. So that's fine, I guess. We'll move on to the Z ability. So he says 30% to strike and blast defense for future and powerful opponent, and 15% to tags that are both future and powerful opponent. Okay, so two things. First, I like the Z ability. I think I like this style. I like where you get, you get a 30% double buff right here, and then you get an extra, little chunk of whatever at the end if it's, if the units meet both requirements. I like these Z abilities a lot. Number two, elephant in the room. He did not mention God Key in here. So for me, I personally, I really hope that he buffs God Key. But for this guy, this is fine. Like I said, I like the Z ability itself. So really not a big deal. Let's go ahead and move on. So he says he's going to be holding a strike and a blast card. Okay, that's always really not a big deal. It's kind of nice to have both anyway. Move on to the arts card. So regular strike, or actually up here he says strike 50% chance to inflict bleed. So I like that. We'll move down here. Blast armor. So he's saying the blast card would have blast armor penetration. I very much like that. I can get behind that. The blue card would be massive damage. Okay. Plus 25% to special move damage inflicted for 3 counts. Okay. Inflicts all enemies with 3 sub counts upon activation. That's the ticket right there. That very last part of that sentence is huge. You hit somebody with the blue card and boom, they're basically just locked in. They can't do anything. I actually really like that a lot. So definitely agree with that. Move on to the green card. Divine Power Up. Restore own health by 10%. Okay. And key by 30. Okay. Randomly destroys all of your own cards and randomly draws 3 new ones. Okay, I actually like that. That's kind of like the green Goku Black. So yeah, that's actually very much like the green Goku Black. That would actually be really cool if they gave the LF1 a similar green card. So I like that. Okay, so ultimate card. Scythe of an Omnipotent Retribution. Supreme damage, 50% to ultimate damage inflicted, nullifies endurance for 3 counts. That's the big one right there. That's what I want to see. As these new LF units coming out, I want to be seeing nullify endurance. So I like that. And also, okay, nullifies enemy special cover change actions for 3 counts. So similar to how Vegito Blue's ultimate, like if the enemy tries to swap in Bojack, for example, it just doesn't work. It still goes through. So I like that a lot. And 50% to critical damage inflicted for 3 counts. Okay. Blast armor. Okay. I like this. He's saying blast armor for the ultimate. I like that. So we'll move on to the main ability. Wrath of an Absolute God. Randomly destroys all of your own cards and draws 4 new ones. Okay, seems like this guy's trying to kind of imitate the green Goku Black. I like it. Randomly destroys 1 card and draws the alt card. Okay, so you're basically getting, oh wow. So he's saying you're going to be getting 4 brand new cards. So you can start a combo. And are you getting key anywhere in here? Okay, I don't see anything for key, but this is still very good. So you're drawing 4 new cards, and then one of those cards will be the ultimate. So as long as you have key, you can pop that main, go into start a combo, do some damage, and boom, pop the ultimate, and you're probably going to be killing a unit. So I like that. Restore health by 30%. Oh, no, yeah, key by 50%. Okay, sorry. So you are getting key. Okay, then this is actually a very good main ability. I like this a lot. Also 25% to damage and 100% to crit rate for 10 counts. That would be awesome. That would be very cool. I like that a lot. We'll move on to the first unique, the Zero Mortals plan. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. 60% of damage inflicted, increase card draw speed by 1 level, and -5 to both arts costs. Sorry, I can't talk. Yeah, I like that. Obviously, card draw speed is huge. Reducing cost is huge. And 60% of damage is going to be pretty good on a unit like this. So that's awesome. Reduces damage received by 30%. Okay. The following effects occur to self if another enemy or allied tag, future, or powerful opponent character enters the battlefield. So basically, every time, let's see, if another enemy or allied tag. So basically, whenever the enemy swaps into a powerful opponent or future, or when you yourself swap into a powerful opponent or future, you're restoring ki by 20, drawing a card, and plus 20% of damage inflicted. That would actually be pretty busted, actually. I mean, I think it's cool, and I like the idea. I would really have to see what it would look like in battle to really have a proper opinion on that. But I actually really like this idea. So yeah, that's cool. We'll move on to the second unique. The pain will only make me stronger. Applies the following effects to self after enemy attack is over. Gradually restores own health each timer count for 30 counts. Okay. Plus 50% to health restoration for 20 counts. Wow, that's actually pretty good. Reduces damage received by an additional 20% when faced with tag Saiyan or Hybrid Saiyan. I really like that. Knocks enemy back to long range when performing. So he's gonna have a cover change against strike and blast cards. Okay, activates 3 times. I'm really glad he put a limit on that. Because when you have a cover change that just activates against anything almost, it can be a little overpowered when it's unlimited times. I mean, you look at a unit like Bojack, look how long and relevant that he was viable in the meta. And a lot of that time was specifically because of his cover change and nothing else. So definitely glad he put a limit on that. And he put a description here, instant transmission scene with the beam attack he put through Goku's stomach. Okay, that would actually be really cool. I can actually picture exactly what he's talking about. That would be very cool. This will not count when an enemy has a nullify cover change effect. Okay, that makes sense. Now let's go ahead and move on to the descriptions. So what made you choose to decide the character the way you made it? When it comes to Rosé, I want to make him unique as far as team builds, and also with how he interacts with certain characters like LF Kid Buu and transforming DKP. I feel like him potentially holding a green card would make him amazing for 0.5% LF units, since he would not only work great with Green Rosé and other powerful opponent future units and have good green cards, but he would be more valuable to use aside from Red Cell. And that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Red Cell is still very good, but if he gets replaced by a brand new LF unit, it's going to definitely help future in the long run. Who at times feels repetitive and bland to use, and he mainly serves the purpose of a Rising Rush sponge. Yep, I agree with that for sure. Also, a non-transforming LF unit, I want to make him relatively hard, yes, of course, which is why the alt is geared to be the most destructive part of his kit, with 50% to crit damage and 100% to crit rate on main. Okay, I see what he's going for there. Lastly, I want to make him semi-conditional to just powerful opponent in future, since he and Whis on God Key providing too many green cards would make the red-red-green setup for God Key too OP. Okay, so his reasoning for that was specifically for the kit that he gave him. I can understand that and respect it. Yeah, for sure. And I think I missed up here. Was he holding a green card? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, 2 cards. Oh, I read this. Duh, that was dumb. Okay, so he said strike card and a green card. Oh, okay. So he's going to be holding a green card. That's going to be pretty... That would actually be... Okay, I can actually see why on God Key that might be a little too overpowered. Okay, I can see that. What role do you see the character in their teams, and how do they fit the current and potential future meta? I see Rosé being a must-run on both future and powerful opponent, in addition to him being an annoying opponent to face in PvP. Also, I know the argument of design space limitation, but for this submission, it's not being applied here since the devs would need to do a lot for a 0.5% non-transforming performing LF to be within the ranks of SZ tier at 3 stars minimum. This is one of the best abusive ways to do it. Okay, I can see that. I think the kit that he gave him, you could definitely argue would be annoying in PvP. But at the same time, look how many other annoying units there are. I mean, I think at the end of the day, you got to realize every single unit has pros and cons. So you take a look at, you can almost pick any unit that you're going to find good things and bad things. So, and every unit has their kind of a little annoying cheese things that they have. So, like I said, I don't know. I would really have to see this unit in battle to have my final opinion. But I do think that this is a really cool kit. And, at the end of the day, I think it would still be a good thing for God Key, even though if he doesn't buff God Key on this kit. I think it would still be good for God Key, obviously good for future and powerful opponent. And yeah, once again, thank you so much to Say No to RR for your submission. I actually really much enjoyed reading this. And yeah, that'll be it for me. And we appreciate you guys watching. And we will move on to the next one. Thank you. Peace.
What is going on, everybody? Nazdaracha here, coming back at you again with one more of 5-9 Gaming's infamous fan-made character kit reviews. So many of y'all should be familiar with this already, and I do believe that I might be on the tail end of the video here closing it out, so I'm not going to do too many introductions, but as you probably have seen throughout this video, we are covering the fan-made kits for the LL Rose that's about to come out. Now, we do know a few things about him from the Twitter post, be it that he's got extreme bleed and that his super move can immunize him from color disadvantage for I don't know how long, but we do know those two things, but we don't know everything yet. So it's still a ripe time to get this in. So I will waste no more time. We're going to jump right in here and pull up the kit that I will be analyzing. Now, as we're going into this, I did pick the kit from GG Rickson. Now, I picked this one because out of all of the 48 responses, I think only 2 of them actually accurately predicted his color. So since we do know that he is purple, I did go with one of the responses that did accurately predict his color. So unfortunately, he is not red. I think 98% of the people that filled out this survey did choose him to be red, which would have been much better for God Key. But the purple does work out as well because it seems like they're setting up the future team to have multiple sub builds, like one you could run with only good guys, and then one you could run maybe more powerful opponent or bad guy themed. So it may not be a bad thing that he's purple, but he does have some competition with DKP and a couple other characters. Let me not waste any more time talking though. Of course, GG Rickson, thank you for the submission. And to everybody else out there, continue to submit your ideas. Every time we do one of these, we just kind of randomly pick from the list. So I avoid people that I've already used before. I know I make a mental checklist, so everyone will have an opportunity to hopefully get their submissions read. And we appreciate y'all significantly for helping us make content here. So he is purple, of course. We already covered that. He picked melee type, which is sensible for Rose, seeing as how Rose has the extreme bleed with the key sword on his, wrist, and then of course the scythe in the ultimate arts. So melee, I think, is fitting for this Rose character here. Of course, future God Key powerful opponent. That is pretty much a staple for Rose. Like pretty much the only other thing they could throw on there is Saiyan, I think. But these 3 definitely make more sense. They fall in line with all the other, Goku Black art characters we've seen so far. And of course, they have been beefing up this powerful opponent tag recently. So works out pretty well. I think that's, that's what it's going to be, no guessing involved. What are the stats? Fully soul boosted at 6 star. Now remember, 6 star is a pretty far cry from the full 14 star boost. So even though he says he's not really a stats guy, these numbers are potentially fairly accurate for 6 star. The only one I would say is the defense will be a little bit low here. Be a little better if he was maybe in like the 160k range. But again, I would expect at 14 stars this number to be significantly higher from all the stat boosts. So for 6 star, this actually doesn't seem too far off the mark. I would anticipate at like 14 star, he'd be pushing like 300k on both offenses and, around like 160 to 170k to both defenses. It depends on how offensive they want to make him and whether or not they want to give him a defensive weakness to cover potential oppressive offensive power. So we don't really know that quite yet, but I do think this looks like it's pretty on the mark for a 6-star character that's a Legends Limited. What are the characters' Z ability at 6-star? So that's when everything's unlocked. Of course, 14 stars when the numbers will be full, but everything would be unlocked most likely at 6-star, unless he's like Super Vegito, who doesn't get the final buff until 14-star. But assuming it's not like that, future God Key, powerful opponent characters, strike and blast attack, so double attack buffer, with a 15% strike defense for characters that are both powerful opponent and future. This works out great for that idea that I just threw out where, there's going to be sub-builds for the team. So if you build him more specifically on a future powerful opponent with like Merge Zamasu, other Goku Blacks, you will then get, this extra little buff here to encourage you to sub-build in that way. Makes perfect sense to me. I would like him to carry 2 strikes if he was a melee unit, but Strike and Blast is not always bad because, if you are teaming him like a future Zenkai Merge Zamasu, for example, who's not in the game yet, but assuming it does happen, that's a Blast character, so this honestly won't be that bad for the overall team comp. What do the arts cards do? Strike, Heavy Bleed. This person did fill this out before it happened. Again, this is kind of a safe bet because other Rosés have had the Key Sword as well and some bleed effects, but we now know that it is Extreme Bleed. There's a new modifier that's going with the bleed that this Rose is getting. I think it's pretty savvy that this person did start to kind of read into some of the stuff that was actually going to happen. Blast cards restore Ki by 5 to encourage him to be able to use more cards, because this will take your card cost down and allows him to keep comboing more. Special move deals massive impact damage, plus 50% move damage on activation, and 20% to special move damage if his health is below 70%. That's actually a pretty powerful special move. However, we do know just from the teasers on Twitter that his special move will be removing his weakness to color disadvantage. So we don't know the time frame on that, and it very well might have some damage buffs on it also. We don't know yet. We just got the quick and simple version, but I think that this is a very well picked out move here. Massive damage, and then up to 70% to the damage if he's below 70% health, which shouldn't be too hard to do. If he takes a couple of arts cards, he's already in the mark there. His green card restores his Ki by 40, inflicts all enemies with a tribute downgrade, additional damage received, 10% for 30 counts, and 15% to allies damage inflicted for 20 counts. Draw a random card if you have 3 or less, which would be mandatory because using the green card would set you up at 3 or less, so you'd always be drawing a random card, essentially there. Pretty good. Anything that restores Ki and gives damage buffs is going to, again, allow him to continue comboing. We've seen that with the green transforming Rosé. However, this one is a little bit watered down compared to that because it would just be drawing one random card instead of destroying your whole hand and redrawing a bunch of cards and getting the health back as well. This one is missing the health restore that the other Rose has on his card draw. So with that, I think that this is very powerful. And, the green Rosé, I think's green card may have been a little bit too strong, but, it worked out well for him because it gives people a character that can compete with Zenkai units who is not a Zenkai. So a little bit torn on the green Rosé, but he is exceptionally good. This kit here seems to have some of the things borrowed from that Rosé as well. Ultimate deals major impact damage, not massive, that's interesting. 100% to ult damage if all enemy characters are still alive, plus 50% if enemy has 2 or less characters. Ignores endurance, ignores element disadvantage for 10 timer counts upon activation. And we know that his blue card already does that, so double stacking him there with ways to ignore color disadvantage would be quite powerful. It basically guarantees that no matter what, you'll have a move even in a color disadvantage situation, assuming you can draw blue or have saved your ult. Now the damage buffs here, pretty interesting. It's kind of like Bergamo, but like a mirror version, where instead of having all your teammates be alive when you get the ult to do more damage, it depends on if the enemy is still alive. So that's interesting there, a little bit of a reverse similarity. And then even if that's not the case, you'll still get a 50% damage buff. I think this is pretty good for this move. I would just wish that maybe it had the massive impact damage right here instead of major, because his special move has massive. I don't think there's a reason why his ult shouldn't also have it. Maybe it was a typo, I don't know, but the actual wording of the ult here seems pretty functional. Of course, we know it'll legendary finish as well if you use it on the last person. Main ability, restores health by 20% and ki by 50. Draw the ultimate arts card, of course, and plus 50% to damage inflicted, which cannot be canceled for 40 timer counts. Anytime you get health, ki, and ult, and damage, that's a pretty solid main ability. Again, the only thing that weakens this versus the green one is there's no other card draw here. But that's to be expected because, you know, that Rose doesn't have an ultimate arts card, so they gave him that instead. I think this works out great right here. It's beneficial. It'll heal. It makes up for him not having it on card draw or the green card. So it's still a way to increase his combat sustain and let him, you know, keep comboing out with the ult as the tail end of the combo there. So first unique, he didn't pick a name for it. That's fine. But it's got 60% to damage inflicted, cannot be canceled. I'm assuming that's just on the start of the battle or as soon as the character enters the field. There's no time limit associated with it. It's a very good buff right there. 50% to ki recovery, which also cannot be canceled. Pretty much guarantees that you'll never have ki problems with this Rose. Characters that have passives like this, when you hold down to charge up, you can just see those numbers skyrocket back up to full. So that would be very beneficial. Not so much noticeable compared to like the green Rose, because the green Rose will have the unlimited flow of cards to take good use of this. But again, still very, very useful. Arts card draw speed, it's almost essential in the meta these days to get a fully fleshed out character top tier, but it's good that he has it. It just doesn't specify with this one whether it's when that character enters the battlefield, is it only once at the start of battle. We need a little bit more clarification how this works here, but as long as he has, like, say, +1 arts card draw speed for 20 counts every time he switches in, that would be a fabulous passive right there. 20% to sustain damage cut when enemy switches characters. You can't stack that, so it means that they'll still have some additional defense when they swap in front of moves, but this will help take out usually almost half of it, because a lot of characters will have 50%, and the rest of them that have less than that, this might take out almost all of it. So again, ways for him to do more damage when people swap in front of him. So that's always pretty useful right there. 5% to strike damage inflicted per arts card used by both sides, up to a max of 60%. So no matter what, he's going to be looking at a 120% to damage inflicted buff here when all is said and done. And that's just general damage, including reds, yellows, blues, ult. So that is extremely powerful right there. However, it does seem that this second set of buffs here can be canceled. So that one could be removed. You'd have to restack it up again, which is something that wouldn't be terribly difficult. It's just going to take a good bit of cards here to get it up. You know, 2 of them, 10%, then you'll need 6. So you're looking at least 12 cards to get the full buff there. 20% to damage inflicted against God Ki cannot be canceled. Canonically, this makes perfect sense. Fits right in with the series, of course, because Goku Black spends the majority of his time fighting Goku and Vegeta, and also Rage Trunks. That wouldn't work against him, assuming we ever get a, you know, really good new version of Rage Trunks, but it'll work against the Saiyans, which honestly is fine. It makes sense to me. Maybe you could put it 20% to damage inflicted against Future, because that would include all the God Ki characters that were in that Future arc and the Trunks. But I don't know. This is still good enough, and God Ki likely is going to get very powerful over time, so it'll never kind of age out. Second unique, also didn't pick a name. It's fine. All we care about is what it does. -2 to allies substitution count when the enemy switches characters. Activates 7 times. We've seen that this is very powerful on characters like Champa. Getting your allies the ability to sub back in quicker can really make or break the fight, because you'll always be able to have a swap vanish, you know, on retainer in case you need to use it. So that's a very, very powerful ability there. Restores ki by 25. 20% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. So when you swap him out, the new character coming in will get a ki and a damage buff, which is pretty good. It's enough to use an ultimate arts card right there, or a red card, assuming you have like a character that's got debuffed cost on yellows. You might be able to squeeze one of those out as well. 30% to sustain damage cut and draw a special arts card when changing cover. Well, this kind of sets him up to be more like the yellow Vegeta, the God Vegeta, because the yellow God Vegeta actually still takes damage when he cover saves. He'll actually take the hits and then push you back. So based off the wording here, it seems like that would be the same, because otherwise you take no damage from cover cut. I suppose unless he means like Gogeta Blue, because it doesn't specify here whether or not he actually has a strike or blast cover. So this would, I would assume, just be a normal swap in, where it's not going to end the combo, or it's going to be like God Vegeta, where it ends the combo but he still takes damage. So maybe a little bit more like, again, the Rage Trunks, who just swaps in with a cover cut but doesn't do anything special. Although Goku Black here will get a green card for the price of getting beat up a little bit. So I guess that kind of makes sense. I think we know based off of the video on Twitter that he does have a strike cover. So I was kind of reading this with the assumption that that's what he meant. So I guess we'll have to find out though again. And, you know, if not, this is still extra stats, but he does have to take a little bit of damage to get the green card and those extra stats. What made you decide to make the character the way you made it? Massive damage dealer with a little bit of support and decent defenses. The only problem I would say is he doesn't get key on switch in, but that would make him possibly a little bit too much of an ultimate pivot unit, as he can switch in, put basically infinite combos down because of the Vados effect. You know, we got to consider the other characters he may be used alongside. So he liked making him a little bit more of a support, since he'll likely replace the purple Vegeta, who is also kind of a good future support for the team. Whilst he is better, the damage the Rose will do is not even close to purple Vegeta's. So I'm assuming this is like a more offensive version of the purple Vegeta to replace him on those team builds, and he'll do more damage but a little bit less support. I think that's how this gentleman set up this character here. What role do you see for the character in their teams, and how do they fit the current and potential future meta? Being a staple on God Key future and powerful opponent until maybe Purple Zamasu gets a Zenkai, he's a support who will deal amazing amount of damage, whether it's bleed through his attribute downgrades or just his raw power. I had to make him absolutely busted, as LFs are only typically 2 and 3 stars and will lack damage, but the whales are finna have fun with this one. I don't think his kit is actually too far off what we're actually going to see here. I think Rose will be an offensive powerhouse. He'll have, of course, the immunity to color disadvantage of using the blue card, lots of offensive buffs, the extreme bleed. So we'll have to wait until later tonight when the details release to see his kit in its entirety. I'm sure we'll probably do a reaction to that, cover it some way. But until then, we definitely appreciate all you guys that throw out these fan-made kit ideas that we can kind of cover before the units come out. Again, GG Rickson, we appreciate your submission. Everyone else that was in the video that participated in some way, or even if you just sent something in that didn't get seen, we appreciate you guys very much. If you're new around here, consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell so we can see you again on all of our future uploads, whether they're legends or not. And if you did like the video, consider leaving a thumbs up on it. That helps spread it out and get it out there, feed the YouTube algorithm. Also, leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on the new LL Rose? Even if you didn't get a submission in, tell us what you think in the comments. Do you really like him? Do you think he's going to be kind of skippable since we have DKP and maybe highly starred purple Vegetas on our teams already? We'd love to know your thoughts. And in the meantime, you know, stick with us. We're going to have plenty more content coming for you. This is Nazdarachi signing out. We appreciate all y'all once again, and we'll see you very soon. Peace out, everybody.